Hello everybody, I'd like to share my next set I just made for eBay, the 4x4 Atlas layout N scale. Oh, hold on a second. Not sure what happened here. Had a track come apart. There. I must have been adjusting something. This is an N scale Atlas layout. It's in a book. I'm not sure which book, but I picked it up. It was on a sheet of paper that somebody copied. But what a neat layout. It's 4x4. It's an oval, kind of an irregular oval, but it's got 2 passing sidings and 2 reverse loops. If you look at it, you can reverse loop this way or this way. And it's got 14 remote switches, 3, 4, 5, 6 side tracks where you can put your buildings, industrial area and things, and lots of track. Because of the reverse loop, I use the controller, Atlas controller. Here's the 14 remote switches and 1 power pack. You can track block it. I didn't go with selectors just because I didn't see 2 trains running on it. But if you try hard, you could probably switch back there on that one while the other train's running, but not really necessary on this one to have 2 power packs. I got the Bachmann chassis running and some cars matching caboose. And here we go. I like all gauges. Originally when I started doing trains, it was just going to be Lionel. Not just O gauge, but just Lionel, vintage Lionel. I love Lionel, but it didn't take long for me to branch out into all other things, even G scale. I've never had Z, but I've had some Z track. For the fixers out there, this Bachmann had a gear split. You're probably well aware of the Bachmann gear split with the nylon gears. I'd like to take the engine off and turn it over, but I think you know what they look like. The little gear on the front, for some reason, on the N scale seems to always split, that the larger gear drives from the worm gear. I found a really neat way to fix it that works, I think, permanently with JB Weld, is to take the gear out. Of course, it's a two-piece wheel flange or axle, where each axle comes out and then the gear falls out. When it takes the pressure off of the gear, it compresses back to its shape, where it won't get hung up or click. If it has the gear click, or sorry, the spread, gear split, right? It'll jam. It won't even move. So when you pull the axles out, have a precision drill bit set. You can buy them pretty much anywhere. You can't use a regular drill bit set that goes up in increments. It'll jump up way too high and there'll be too much gear or axle shaft slop. So you want to go up about 3 sizes of these micro jump bits that hardly go up at all in size. Just enough to pretty much, of course, take the pressure off where the axle goes in to the gear, and just a little more to allow for some JB Weld, and fill it up very gently with JB plastic weld I use on that, and push the wheels back in. Make sure you don't get any excess where it glues the gear to the inside of the truck housing. And it usually works. If it doesn't, it jams a little bit yet, and take some sandpaper and take a little bit off of the gear split spot on the little gear, reducing, like you could say, the length of the teeth, and it's way more than enough for it to still complete its revolution, and it takes the jam out of it. See her running there. You don't even hear the gear split, or what do you call it? Not the knock, but the tick. Can't even hear the tick. And the plastic weld for JB only takes 15 minutes to set up before it stays in place. And with something like this with some torque on it, I'd leave it drive 24 hours before you put it in use. But that's a good fix. I think it'll work for HO too. You shouldn't have to pinch the gear back into shape. It'll just compress back into shape when you take the pressure off it with the axle coming out of it. With O gauge, it's probably a shaft going all the way through. So I saved that chassis like that. I'm not aware we can buy the gears yet. Brand new. So here we're gonna go up the reverse loop. So I'm throwing my switches here. I don't know if I got the reverse loop set right. I did. Whoop, what happened? Huh. Yeah, see it? There it is. That's where my wires are. How about that? How about I move the track around? When you come back off, whoop, hit the cord there. Gotta turn one switch, maybe two. No, one. And the cab button for the reverse loop, or it won't run. Whoop. I think I'm going on the outer loop here. Yep. Find this switch. No, I had it. There. It was set right. Now I'm going to derail if I don't hit this one right. There we go. Now it's going the other way. A reverse direction. It's very simple design by Bachmann on these end gauge. It's a two shell design, insulated for each rail pickup. The whole engine framework inside is two-piece. I think I'm going to try to send it up the hill here. If it stalls, I'll have to hit the gray switch. Out and install. How about that? If you can see my mind there, I was trying to think so fast it hurt which switch to hit. That's the sign I forgot to switch. I think I forgot to switch. Son of a gun. Oh well. I'll get back there and get it. I hate to say I'm completely off the track. We'll fix her. Like I was just saying about my head, I got everything, but when we came back around, I didn't hit the exit off the reverse loop and it derailed, but oh well. With the reverse loop design by Atlas was so neat. You just got to practice a little to get it right. Speaking of putting these end gauge cars on, it's tough. I think they make railers, but I like this. Now I gotta make sure I got this right. Alright, I think I got it. Let's see what derails. Try it again. It's a spot where it went. Hope I don't have a bad track. Nah, it was that switch. Uh-oh, got one off again. The tracks aren't nailed down for, it's just for display only. Then I put it in a box and ship it, but times they're not quite positioned right. Try it now. Apparently good. You nail them down with little track nails when you put it up for permanent. So, how about if we go up the other way? And come back around the bridge now. I think I gotta hit the reverse switch. Yeah. That's what the green button's for, or sorry, the gray button's for. On the controllers. And when you come off back to the main line off of the reverse loop section, which is isolated by two plastic insulators, you can see them on each one. Then you hit the cab switch back. When you come back onto what you call the regular track, because you reversed the engine polarity, reverse polarity. Now it's, of course, going the opposite direction. Close that switch. And the other one. 14 remote switches, wow. That's a lot of switch action compressed into a 4x4. All the sidings and everything. I made these wire horses for display for running the wires over the top of the tracks instead of under them, especially with N or HO. Of course, I'm not going to poke holes in my my workbench, but it was kind of tricky with derailments running them under, so I think this is a big improvement. And that's just a display of the set. I think I'll bring her in here. Wheel slip. Okay, that's it. As always, everything's for sale on eBay, except for my how-to tips on things. And thanks for watching.